What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 90 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex. And today, I have for you guys the Champions League first knockout round for the second year in a row. Now, this is exciting. I love this. This is where I enjoy FM. It's the crunch time. It's the nervy nights in Europe, especially when you're the underdog. You know, there's a little bit of pressure on you, perhaps. And, well, today, we're going to be taking on Sporting Lisbon, or Sporting de Club Portugal, as I believe their actual name is. I'm going to be calling them Sporting Lisbon. I know I have Portuguese viewers, maybe you can clear this up for me, because I always knew Sporting as Sporting Lisbon growing up, but I don't think that's actually a name that's used with them. But we're going to go with it here. I'm sorry if it's wrong. And yeah, we're going to be taking them on in both legs. You'll actually see there is a big gap between the two legs against them, which is a little bit annoying. There's actually 4 games to play, but we'll do them off camera so you guys don't have to sit around and watch us spank a load of teams in Gibraltar, because to be honest, it's not all that fun, really. Anyway, since the last episode, which of course was the end of the Champions League kind of group stage, you can see we've gone on a good winning run. I'll only pick out one result. It was a 15-0 win against Angels. It's the biggest win ever in the Gibraltaria Primera Division, and it also, I think, helped us get towards 150 games unbeaten in the league, which is, well, stemming back a few seasons now. I think it's 5 or 6 seasons now that we've not lost. It's not too shabby. Either way, it's the kind of thing we'll cover in the end of season live com, I imagine. So yeah, things domestically going good. Of course, it is now January time, or it's gone through January time in the January transfer window. And did we do any business? Well, yes, we did. We did a fair bit, actually. More than I perhaps expected. We had a little bit of prize money, obviously, for getting to the Champions League knockout stages. I asked the board for some money. They gave me some money. They gave me £8 million to spend. And I went out there and I feel like I spent it fairly wisely. Either way, we'll look at the first player here. This is Ramadan Mustafa. This guy is an Egyptian centre-back, 18 years old. 8 caps for Egypt. Jeez, Jack. Already. This guy, really good centre-back. Good first touch as well, which is nice. Not very quick. Not amazingly kind of balanced or agile, but he is strong, and he's a good defender, this guy. And he's only 18. Plenty of time to hopefully develop. And yeah, we brought him in on a free, I do believe. In fact, it wasn't a free, it was £400,000. But either way, that's just a ridiculously cheap deal. And we also have a contract extension clause in his contract, which we are now going to trigger, because why not? Anyway, the other players we brought in, the first guy here, unfortunately not eligible to play in the Champions League. It's Yves Frigier. That's how I'm going to say his name. He's French. Brought him in for £900,000. He was actually having his contract expire at the end of the year. I agreed to sign him in advance, and then I thought, why not pay him £900,000 and get him here sooner? So yeah, good to see us signing a few players permanently, and to get this guy from Real Madrid is really good. He's 23 years old, experienced French player with a little bit of international football at under 21s level. You can see he was signed from Marseille back in 2019 for £1.8 million, and to be honest, I feel like we've got a little bit of a bargain here. I think he's going to be a very good centre-back for us. He's good in the air, you know, 17 heading, 14 jumping reach, good natural fitness, very strong. Tackling perhaps lets him down a little bit, but well, you know, with our defence at the moment, we have quite a few players in on loan like Freire and Helmes, and well, Freire's loan runs out at the end of the year. Helmes, I believe, has his loan going on until the end of next year, so we aren't going to need some new defenders to kind of transition into the squad to play alongside the only Walter Del Sol, the Italian. And this guy could be that option. He's a good player, the French player. Just a very well-rounded centre-back, really, and he's not got the best mentals in the world, but he'll do a job for us, and, well, we got him on a very good, cheap fee. Anyway, the next player we bought in from Atletico Madrid for £5 million, our record transfer ever. It doesn't really feel like that big of a transfer now. I think it's just because of the amount of money we have at the club. I mean, you look here, we have £14 million in the bank, and of course, we're still in Europe. But this guy, Alex, who he signed, absolutely fantastic player, very excited by him. 18 finishing, amazing acceleration and pace, which is something that we have been looking for in our strikers. It really helps with our counter-attacking play that we rely on quite heavily in Europe. Not the best in the air, but 17 off the ball, good composure. All in all, just a very, very exciting little striker. Brazilian, 21 years old, and just a little bit of a weird thing. I don't know. I assume this is some kind of weird bug. But there's a team in Ukraine who he played for, and you can see they've got some question marks in their name. Now, I do have a real name fix, which puts all the kind of full names of football clubs in, so you might notice some clubs have really long names. For example, I can only assume that this Ukrainian team's full name involves characters not supported by the Football Manager font, but it does mean that it has loads of question marks in. But yeah, that was a little bit odd, because it said he was a former player of this club with loads of question marks in when I signed him. Kind of confused me a little bit, but either way, this guy, Alex, good player. 21, bit of potential, And yeah, kind of fits the mould of a lot of our strikers we've been bringing in. And of course, with Russo, loan ending at the end of the year, Daniele Russo, we do need some more permanent strikers to play alongside the likes of Oakley, Jair, and of course, Tuzon. And I think this guy's going to be an option for us. Anyway, the last player we brought in, just a bit of depth really. Jimmy Holmes joins us from Liverpool for £1.3 million. A really good fee, really, I think, for this guy. 25 years old, English, just a really well-rounded centre mid, really. Not great defensively. I guess his tackling lets him down a little bit, but he can do a job at kind of centre mid defend. All in all, just kind of a good player to get in. A little bit of squad depth, a little bit of a wild card factor about him, I guess. He's good. He's 25. We brought him in on a cheap. It adds a bit of depth to our squad and is just a useful player to have, I feel. So anyway, those are some of the transfers we did. In terms of how our team is going to be looking for this Champions League tie, well, you can see it here. And actually, there is a little bit of transfer news on the outs because we have got a few players potentially leaving us. And well, one player who is leaving us is the Ginger Ninja. It's Danny Evans. He's going to Freiburg. He decided he'd had enough. His contract was running out at the end of the year. I offered him £4,000, doubled his wages there or thereabouts. And he's turned me down to go to Germany. I feel a little bit backstabbed, but at the end of the day, he did get Gibraltarian nationality. He's now dedicated to the Gibraltar national team. And I don't know, he's a replaceable player in our team, certainly, so I'm not going to lose sleep over that. So that was the big out. There are a few of kind of the many Americans we brought in. Of course, we've had some really standout players we've brought in, the likes of Paul Smith, Bouchard, players like Jackson, who played up front for us. But there's also been a lot of Americans we signed who haven't really done a lot for us. Players like this player, Palo Meke, the 20-year-old Palomik. Players like Bradley Eck who's gone to Orlando City for 170k. These are players who I took punts on, and we've made a little bit of money off selling them, but not a lot more other than that. You'll notice if quite a lot of players went on loan. One more departure I do want to talk about real quick. Alex Pridham left us to go to Gibraltar Lions. He's left us, to be honest, I'm not that bothered. 21 years old, this guy. I think he'll do okay at Gibraltar Lions, which is nice. And they paid £300,000 for him, for a player we brought in on a free and never played. I mean, I can't complain about that. So yeah, a little bit sad to see Alex go here, but at the end of the day, £300,000 is very, very good money, and I wasn't going to turn it down. So anyway, those are the transfers. We want to get on into the Champions League games now, don't we? Because there's two. First one here, we are at home for. This is the team we are going to be going with. Goalkeeper Young in goal. Great keeper, the Swedish player. At left back, we go with Jay Marriott, who is very, very, very close. In fact, he might even be eligible now. He is eligible now to play for Gibraltar. So I'm hoping we might see him playing the Gibraltar national team. At centre-back, we go with Helmez and Del Sol. Del Sol here, the Italian, a very good player for us. Alongside him, Helmez, the German international, who, of course, we have on loan from Chelsea. A player who, if I'm honest, I'd love to sign permanently, but it's just never going to happen. The money they'll want for him is ludicrous. But, of course, we do have him until the end of next year. At right back, we go with Freire. He's a good right back. He's not a great right back going forward, but he'll do a good job defensively for us. In the midfield, we go with Paul Smith. He's had his own little battle with injury, really, over the Christmas period as well. He was away for the Asian Cup, I do believe. You can see here he's had a chest injury, and, of course, he had a hernia earlier on in the season. In fact, that might have also been since the last episode, but either way, he's had a few injuries, but he's back today, which is a big, big addition for us because we have missed him. In the centre of midfield, you notice we don't have Bouchard. He is suspended, so we go with JJ at defensive midfield. The Ivorian centre mid, a very good player for us. Alongside him in that advanced playmaker role, we go with Henderson, the Brazilian, who we signed last year, a player who's kind of been filling in at left wing a fair bit with Smith out injured, but gets a spot in his preferred kind of role in the middle today. Right mid, we go with Cafe, a player who I'm yet to really have a long-term replacement for. The 24-year-old Brazilian, a very good player, of course, on loan from Valencia. His loan runs out at the end of the year. Would love to sign him permanently again, but I just can't see it happening. But he is going to be present today. And then up front for today's game, two more loanees. Daniele Russo, of course, on loan from Internazionale. The Italian striker, just a very, very good player. A player who, to be honest, I'd love to sign permanently. He's done great for us, and this year you can see 23 goals in 14 games. That is not too bad. And alongside him, we go with Callum Oakley, the club top goal scorer at the moment for the season. He's got 34 goals in 27 games, including 25 and 14 in the league. And again, just a player I'm very happy to have here. So in terms of how we're going to set up, we have to play on the counter. We're at home against Sporting Lisbon. They finished top of their Champions League group. They are not going to be pushovers. We're just going to see how we get on going into today's game. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy, this match. But we have very few injuries to kind of speak of. Our team is pretty good. Looking at their team real quick here, they've got Moreira, Moreira, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Brazilian, good goalkeeper by the looks of things. Centre-backs, they've got Wanderson and Pinto. Wanderson here, pretty well-rounded off centre-back, I think it's fair to say. Pinto alongside him, again, a very good centre-back. Perhaps two of the best centre-backs we will come against this year. Left-back, they've got Luis, who again looks like a very good left-back. Defensively, this Sporting team seems very good. And actually, at right-back, they've got this guy, Ugalde, who is a Mexican player. Very good going forward from the looks of things. So yeah, their defence definitely going to be tough to break down. And they've got Wallison here at defensive midfielder, perhaps going to pull some strings as kind of a deep line playmaker. They've got João Pedro and they've got Weigl in the midfield. And then in the final third, their strikers, they've got Galvan, David and another guy. They've got Galvan here, Argentine left winger. Not too scary, I don't think, compared to their defence. Patrick David here looks like a good player, the Brazilian. And up front, they have Scholes. And he looks quite good, the Argentine. So this is not going to be an easy game. We'll see what we can do here, and they've got some very talented players. But, you know, we have beaten bigger teams on our day. Whether or not we've played better teams on our day, I don't know. The team looks surprisingly good, if I'm honest, for Sporting. Of course, this is where we got knocked out last year. The board expectation was to get to this first round, so I'm not kind of going into this game with massive expectations for us to wipe the floor with Sporting, get to the quarterfinals. Instead, we're just going to enjoy the occasion. The fact we've got this far again is only good for our coefficient. It's only good for Gibraltarian football. If we can cause an upset, fantastic. But Sporting, a very, very good side. It's not going to be easy. But we might have a chance here. Russo with the free kick kicks it straight at the wall. Stelman committed to the attack. Helmers, can he play the ball forward? He can. Into the box. Russo is there. He makes it 1-0. And after 5 minutes, first blood comes our way. It's been a pretty tight opening 5 minutes. But with our second shot of the game, we find the back of the net. And it's Russo, a player who I'd love to sign permanently from Internacional. With the goal, of course, Inter, who he's on loan from. We beat in the group stage. They are probably cursing their luck that they don't have him themselves. But I'll tell you now, the Italian striker has been a fantastic player for us. And he gets us a very good early goal there that could prove to be important. Of course, we are at home for this first leg. So limiting Sporting's away goals is pretty important. Of course, this counter-attacking style we're looking to deploy with our pacey players. It's kind of our bread and butter, really. It's what we're known for in Europe. We're known for sponging kind of attacks, absorbing the kind of threat that teams throw our way and then hitting them on the break with pace. But, I mean, we're going to be tested today, and Sporting perhaps going to unleash one of their tests here. Kind of, what would you say? They're kind of toying with us at the edge of the box. David cuts inside. Keeper, I don't know if he made a save. He didn't. It got smashed over. It was a good chance for Sporting. It would have been a kind of crazy goal, but David in the end smashing it over, perhaps panicked with the goal at his mercy. And well, with 38 minutes gone, we're 1-0 up. And if we can get to half-time at this, that's a fantastic first half. Although there is going to be a chance here. And it is going to be Sporting with the ball. Luis, the left-back, inside to Weigl. Plays up to Scholes. And out wide with Ugalde, who might look to whip the ball in. Weigl. João Pedro shoots from range. And it's a lovely placed shot, to be honest. It's what you might say a speculative effort. But he's picked a spot. He's hit it there. And he's created something out of nothing for Sporting. And that is just what their superior quality is going to bring them. A shot just slotted into the bottom corner. Keeper perhaps should do a little bit better. But it's put so far into the corner. I think the keeper might even be blindsided as well by a defender. And unfortunately at the break it's going to be 1-1. Part of me wants to go with an aggressive. I'm not happy. I have a feeling it's going to work. But there is a risk it could piss off players. We'll see how it goes. It's worked wonders. They look fired up. They look ready for it. This is what I want to see. We've tried to absorb stuff in this first half and it's not really worked. Sporting dominate possession. They've had a few shots, although they've not created a lot. Part of me is really tempted to go on the 4-4-2 attack, and I think we're going to go for it just because we've not got so much to lose. And I think trying to go for this game at this point, trying to make something happen. I might change my mind after 5 minutes if we don't do anything. And well, it's fair to say not a lot is happening here. I'm going back on the... I've changed my mind. The balls he played, it's not for me. We have 20 minutes left in this game, or 19. Let's make some changes here. I'm going to bring in Manuel Cruz, I think, at centre mid defence. In fact, no, I'm not. No, am I? I don't know. I'm going to bring in Jimmy Holmes, I think, the new man from Liverpool, to play that defensive mid role for us. He can play there. He's not great defensively, but he's very good athletically, and I think we're going to need that in this game. Elsewhere, Paul Smith at left mid, having a really poor game. Very uncharacteristic of him, really. We don't have an option, though, at left mid. Oakley's not had the best of games. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to bring in record transfer Alex for Oakley, see what he can do at poacher in the kind of dying embers of this game. But I think we'll stick with those changes for now, just the double change. 19 minutes left. If we can hold on for a 1-1, it'll be fantastic. But, you know, Sporting, they're going to bring the ball forward. You'd expect them to start to throw the kitchen sink our way, and it's our job to kind of bat it away and maybe hit them on the counter. And we might be able to do that now. Alex, the new man, away on the break. Options in the middle. Can he find a pass? He can't. And he forces a save out the keeper. He couldn't squeeze it in, but, well, the record transfer having an impact there. Pacey found some space, ran into it, and almost had the finish to cap off what would have been a fantastic counter-attacking move from that set piece that Sporting had. Either way, however, it's 1-1 here with not long left in this game, and while there might be one last chance in this game, it would be cruel if we conceded now to lose 2-1 on the night, but it is going to be Sporting bringing it forward. We have some tired legs on the pitch, and it's Alves now, options on ahead of him. Holmes, though, with a nice tackle. Now can we break away? Up to Alex. He is fast. He is the new man on the block. He whips it in. Paul Smith. Oh my gosh, he's scored a thunder bastard. What has he done? What has he done? Alex with the assist. Paul Smith. What is this? Alex the new man. I mean, he's hit it on the half volley. I mean, if there's a time to score an important goal, it is right there by Paul Smith, the Australian, and that is going to be all she wrote for this game. That goal gives us the slenderest of leads going into the second leg, but what a goal it was. Alex, the sub, having an impact, breaking away with pace, and Paul Smith, the man you want to be there to shoot, finds the back of the net, gets his 9th of the tournament, reclaims his top spot in the competition for goals, and well, we go into a second leg with an unexpected lead, I think it's fair to say. Either way, that was an amazing goal, guys. We've got another game to look forward to. We've got a few games in between. You guys don't want to see them. Let's get to the next Sporting game. I will talk to you guys in a second. Future Jack, take it away. Okay, guys, so we are back, and let me tell you now, it's go time. It's crunch time. It's squeaky bum time. It's everything time. We're taking on Sporting. It's the second leg. I mean, we came away with a 2-1 win. Since the last match, I should say. A few games to tell you guys about. Worth noting, still not conceded in the league, although next game against Gibraltar Lions is probably the toughest game we'll have to try and keep that clean sheet run going. But doesn't really matter, does it? We're here for the Champions League. And yeah, we're in Portugal for this second leg. Let's get into it. Let's sort out our team. And well, as you'll see here, if we just sort out our team, problems. We have some big injuries to some big players. Unfortunately for us, Paul Smith out with a twisted ankle for 2 to 3 weeks. Got that vital late goal for us. Not here though for the second leg. JJ suspended for 1 game. That's a miss in the midfield. Jay Marriott, the left back, suspended for a game. 2's on injured as well. And it does mean that we do have to make some changes. But I think what we're actually going to do for this game is we're going to play Alex and Oakley together. Alex, of course, the record transfer, had an impact in his first ever game at the club in the Champions League when he got that assist for Smith on off the bench. Elsewhere in the team, you can see Henderson coming in at left mid. Bouchard back in the side, a good player to have back. Valverde comes in that deeper kind of centre mid defender role for us. He's a good player, the Uruguayan on loan from Manchester City. Can definitely slot in there for us. And it is going to be kind of where he plays for us today. Hopefully he can do a good job there. Cafe and Bouchard, as I mentioned already, in the team. Defensively, Young in goal. Nothing too crazy going on there. Almeida comes in at left back from Marriott, who is out, the Portuguese player. A very good pacey player. Definitely has a lot to offer. And hopefully, you know, on familiar turf, I guess, here in Portugal, he can give us a good performance. Elsewhere, Freire, Helmez, Del Sol. Yeah, it's pretty much the standard and usual suspects. Let's get into the game. We're going to stick on counter-attack, I think, to start. So we're going to play our 4-4-2. Apparently, we're a good side, and the pundit thinks we have enough quality to see off the challenge. But if you look at the odds, we're 15. We're 1 to 15. I mean, the pundit doesn't agree with the odds. I mean, if you put £1 on us to win, you'd get 15 back. That is a lot of money to be made on betting on us, for those people who obviously aren't that familiar with sports betting. Either way, though, I mean, we have a 2-1 lead. We're just going to go out there and have some fun and see what we can do. A great performance. I mean, if we could get to the quarterfinals, beyond all my expectations. I thought this year, you know, the chairman and the board, they told me they wanted first knockout round. I thought that was ambitious. But we've achieved that. And, well, we've given ourselves a chance to maybe go one step further this year compared to last year. But I mean, it's going to be a massive task, and Sporting a good team. And at home, they're going to be a different beast to they were in our own backyard in Gibraltar. Although they're on the attack here. David with the shot. think it's an own goal off Almeida. The keeper parries it. And it hits Almeida and goes in. Of course, worth noting here, due to away goals, Sporting would be going through if the scores stay as they are right now. After 6 minutes, however, I mean, I don't know whether to call that unfortunate, but David breaks through, shoots, keeper parries it, and Almeida, running towards his own goal, just bundles it into the back of the net. A shocking goal, really, to kind of concede in a big game like this. And well, Sporting, they're on the attack again here. Luis, edge of the box, Delgado, Scholes, Young there with a nice little save, the Swedish player in goal. Parries it wide, and well, with 13 minutes on the clock, we are defending like crazy, and we're fortunate to earn a free kick from that corner. For a second I thought we were giving away a penalty, which would have been a nightmare. It would have been a nightmare in a nightmare. I don't know what you'd call that. Freire, please don't get sent off for a stupid tackle, my friend. We need you at right back for today's... I knew it as well. I knew it as well. Right, what do I do? What do I do? This is one of those... You know when you hear this phrase, caught between a rock and a hard place? Like, we're stuck in a hard place right now. I mean, who do I sacrifice? Who do I... I'm going to take off Valverde. I'm then going to move Henderson to centre mid. Then I'm going to move... I think we're going to play Alex at left mid. I think. Yeah, we'll go with Alex at left mid, and then we're going to move Evans to right back. I mean, not what we needed. Really not what we needed. It's now, in case you're not watching for some reason, we've gone down to 10 men. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge all of a sudden. Not that it wasn't a challenge before, but now it really is one. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You're away from home. You're not going through in the Champions League. There's 70 minutes left of a game and you're down a man. I've switched to a 4-4-1, but I mean, Freire's red card there, that is probably a nail in the coffin of our Champions League dreams. You know, we'll give it our best shot in. I mean, we are on the attack. Alex cutting inside, hits it. Moreira with a save. Well, maybe there is life in the old dog yet, but the old dog, which we're missing a leg or two up top, and it is going to be a difficult kind of challenge for us here. Although at the break it looks like it's going to... I mean, I've jinxed it. I was about to say at the break we're going to be 1-0 down. If they score now, then like, I mean, I'm going to be upset. Delgado with a chance, he scores. I've talked prematurely, I've jinxed it. 2-0 Sporting, we still need a goal. We needed a goal before. If we get a goal now, we go to extra time. But we're down a man. We're not creating a lot. I mean, what do you do in this situation? It's one of those games where off the back of that red card, I just kind of have to sit here, shrug and go, well, I mean, there's not a lot we can do. I'm going to tell the players I expect to see a much better showing. I think we have to go on the attack. We have to change to the 4-4-2 attack and see what we can do here. Oakley's going to switch to complete forward, I think. I'm going to play Alex out on the left, and I'm actually going to play him as an inside forward on attack, because that is a role he can play, and he might be able to do a job for us there. But this now, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. We're going to try a few bits and pieces here to, you know, hopefully commit a few more men up the left-hand side, see what we can do there. But we're down a man. We're 2 goals down. We need 1 goal just to take it to extra time, and it's going to be a tough ask, you'd feel, this game now against Sporting. We're in their own backyard. Let's see what we can do. We're on the attack here. Henderson, Almeida, who scored the own goal, crosses it straight to Pinto at defence. And now Scholes bringing the ball forward right now, obviously leaving ourselves a little bit more susceptible to the break. And while Delgado goes on a crazy run and hits the woodwork, perhaps deserved the goal there. And now a corner being whipped in. Delgado with the shot. Another great save by Young in goal. He's having an okay game, the goalkeeper. I mean, looking at it here, we've had 1 shot. It was on target, but that's all we've had in this game. We've struggled to get hold of the ball, as I guess is to be expected. I was about to make a tactical change of some kind, but, well, there's another chance now, so we'll watch it play out. It's Luis at left back, bringing the ball forward here. Can someone please put in a tackle? Please, Young with the save. Let's try and clear the ball to the left-hand side. And I mean, we've got to go route 1. We've got to work for the ball. We've got to play fast. And well, we've conceded while I make these tactical changes, and it is game over now at this point, unfortunately. We are not going to get a 2-goal swing in what is left of this game. It comes from a corner. Disappointing to go out, I guess, in the Champions League first knockout round for a second year in a row. But to get here again, I mean, we're showing signs of progress. Unfortunately for us, that sending off of Freire really has screwed us in this game. But there is not a lot we can do now. You know, down a man away from home, needing 2. I mean, it's the stuff of miracles if we somehow make the comeback now. Young, bring the ball forward, clears up, goes straight to Weigl, who's going to bring the ball back towards us. Evans, though, with a decent tackle. He makes another one as well, to be fair. The Ginger Ninja, of course, leaving us for Germany. And unfortunately, this looks like this is going to be his kind of final performance, I guess, here in the Champions League, representing Gibraltar Apex. This game, it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's a tough game to have endured. But ultimately, I mean, that red card screwed us. But, I mean, Sporting, they came into this game heavily favourites. And we just couldn't do a lot with that first kind of leg win that we got. And, well, we bow out. Going to tell the players I'm not happy with their performance. That sending off for Freire really screwed us. Fortunately for us, or I guess unfortunately as the case may be, his loan runs out at the end of the year. So that is his last ever game in Europe for us. We could terminate his loan. Actually, I don't have the option to terminate his loan. Never mind, we'll use him in the league, I guess. But yeah, disappointing. We get knocked out in the first knockout round. A real shame there. We do get £4 million for getting that far. We will, of course, get another £4 million in TV money towards the end of the year. Freire's bad tackle was pretty justified, according to my assistant. In terms of when we'll be back, we will be back, of course, for the traditional end-of-season live com. Already got Gibraltar Lions to look forward to in the Senior League Cup. We also, of course, have a game in the Rock Cup to look forward to as well, where we'll either be taking on... well, there's like 6 teams we could possibly be playing in the final, so I don't want to guess. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's going to wrap things up from you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode. Disappointing, as I said. Progress still, though, in Europe. Still got a long way to go. Bit of a reality check right there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, smash the like one. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.